Hey, it's OP here. If you are a coach or a consultant and you have a high ticket program that you charge $2,000 plus for, and you sell this high ticket program over the phone, this video is going to help you sign more clients with the same number of leads that you're currently getting and the same number of sales calls you're getting. So essentially, this video will help you increase your close rate by an extra 5 to 15%. So if you have a close rate of 10% right now, you could take that to 20%, 25% by just watching this video to the end. In case you're not familiar with who I am, my name is OP and I run a marketing company where we help high-ticket coaches and consultants sign clients online. Our clients have signed literally 3,000 plus clients for their businesses, and we've helped our clients generate multiple seven figures in their businesses. So this stuff I'm about to share with you actually works. And if you implement something like this, you could easily double your business by just doing a few things instead of you trying to do like 20, 25 other things to scale your business. And you'll be able to get more for the time and efforts that you put into your business. The idea for this video came after we launched a masterclass for one of our clients, and we got people to book calls from that masterclass. And then the closer reached out to us and said, people who are coming on these calls, guys, they are saying they can't start right now. They prefer to start in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, and so on and so forth. And after I saw that, I immediately understood what was going on, because people are always looking for a scapegoat. And if something happens in your business you're not happy with, people would rather blame an external element rather than blame themselves. So say, for example, your coaching program is currently not scaling, or it's the meta new updates, or it's the leads that are not quality, and so on and so forth. So most of the time, it's usually a you problem and not a lead quality problem or a scaling problem or a meta problem or a YouTube problem, and so on and so forth. So people are always looking for scapegoats. So after I saw that message from that person, I immediately understood what was happening. And this video is going to show you how you won't have that problem in your business anymore by just watching this video to the end. So before I get into how the strategy works and what it is, you first need to understand how important sales is for your business. Because if you are able to get a prospect on the phone, think through how many steps they had to take before they got to that point. First, you had to script the ad. You had to film the ad, you had to edit it, you had to post it, you had to set up the targeting. The customer had to click the ad, they had to opt in, they had to go through your funnel, then they filled out your application, they booked the call, then they showed up for the call too as well. So every single step in that process, that prospect could have dropped off, but they followed the process from start to finish and they showed up on the call. So a lot of people do not understand how important getting a sales call actually is for their coaching business, because it is so fucking important to get a sales call on your calendar. So when you have like 50 calls, 60 calls, 100 calls plus per day, then you're getting so many calls, you don't understand how much work it actually takes to get a prospect on the phone. So first, understand that the sales process and the sales, like speaking to a prospect on the phone, is one of the most important parts of the entire system. And it's much easier for you to take your close rate from 20 to 25% or from 10 to 20% than for you to try and figure out how to do this magical new funnel that will only give you prospects who are ready to buy right now. So having a prospect on the phone is actually very, very valuable. And if you're lucky enough to get prospects on your calendar, treat them like that. It is very, very important, because so many things had to happen before the prospects would get on the call with you. Now, when people eventually get clients on the phone, there's this thing, or there's this scapegoat that people tend to blame, which is lead quality. That, oh, the lead is just not qualified enough. They are not ready to buy right now. They can't afford it. This is a very, very non-quality lead. They've not been nurtured enough. And that's a belief, and a limiting belief at that, because there's so many people who still sign clients with very low lead quality. For example, my company, how I get clients for our company is we literally send a cold email to a complete stranger. I don't even tell them exactly what we do. I just tell them the outcome they can get, and they come on the call with us and we close them to become a client. So earlier this year, because I also had the belief that it's very hard for someone, a complete stranger, to just hop on a call with you and pay you, we were not charging for our service. We were basically working purely on a profit split type of agreement. And that didn't work out properly for us until we started charging for our services. And I've taken about 10 calls now in the last 2 months, and we've closed about 3 of them. And these are prospects who literally, they were sent a cold email. I didn't even tell them what the service was about. I just told them what we can help them achieve. They hopped on the call with me, and I was able to close at least 3 out of 10 people I've spoken to in the last 1 month, or should I say in the last few weeks, to be honest. Lead quality is a belief, and if you just treat every lead the same and truly give your all when you have a customer on the phone, if you truly understand how hard it is to get a prospect on the phone and truly give your all to try and convert these prospects, you won't have to blame lead quality for the reasons why you're not getting the results that you want. So essentially, what I'm trying to explain here is, don't make the lead the scapegoat. Just genuinely work harder to close the leads that are not as qualified or are not as warm or ready to buy right now. There's so many ways you can get prospects to still convert. Even if they say, oh, I can only start in 3 to 6 months, or I can only start next year, or I can't afford it right now. There are so many ways you can leverage to do that for customers. So now let me explain the process that we use and the process that we encourage our clients to use as well, in order for them to close these tier 2 and tier 3 leads. Because if you just work harder to close those people, you will be able to increase your close rate. So first, you need to first understand what makes a buyer. So there are 6 things that take someone from a complete stranger to becoming a buyer. First thing is the drive. So the drive is the hidden motivation for them wanting their desire. So let's say, for example, someone wants to purchase a Lamborghini, for example. The drive here is status, or they want to feel better about themselves by driving a Lamborghini. So that's the drive. So the drive is the underlying emotion that makes someone want something. If someone wants $1 million, for example, it might be because the drive might be because they never want to work a 9 to 5. So they like control. They don't want to feel controlled by a boss. So that is the drive. So that's the first thing that makes somebody become a buyer. The second thing is the desire, meaning the thing that they actually want. Buy a Lamborghini, marry a spouse, lose weight, and make more money, and so on and so forth. That's the desire. Second thing is the problem. And problem here is basically the obstacle that gets in the way of them getting to their desire. So if someone wants to buy a Lamborghini, but they don't have the funds, they don't even know how to start a business to make the money to buy the Lamborghini, then that's a problem. The pain is the next thing. And pain is basically how having that problem makes them feel. And then we have conviction, which is conviction in you as the client or as the creator of the product, in your offer, and in the fact that you can actually help them get the results. And then there's action. So if a client or a prospect goes through those 6 foundational layers, that's what makes somebody become a buyer. Unfortunately, you can't control all 6 of these things because some of them are unconscious. It just happens, and you miss a prospect having all those things. Only 2 things you can control, however, is pain and confidence. And if you just increase the pain as much as possible and increase the confidence as much as possible, you'll be able to get a client to a point where, regardless of how they feel, regardless of the objection they give to you, and so on and so forth, you'll be able to get prospects to a point where they can purchase from you. Because everyone has that action threshold. Everyone has that point where they've just heard enough confidence and enough pain from you that, you know what, they become a customer. So if you get to the end of your calls and stuff and people are saying, oh, they have this issue, they have that issue, they are not quite sure, it's because you've not just built enough pain and confidence. Confidence is basically confidence in you as a person, confidence in your offer, and confidence in the clients you've helped get good results. And then pain is just making them feel that emotion of not staying in their current situation and reminding them of all the things they've told you prior, of how they want to change this, how that makes them feel, and so on and so forth. So if we take the pain to the max, take the confidence to the max, you'll be able to convert more of those 2nd and 3rd tier leads. And even if a lead comes in and says, oh, they can't afford it, they're not ready to start right now, they want to speak to their spouse, and so on and so forth, if you're able to maximize on that pain and confidence, you'll be able to get more prospects to convert, and you will increase your close rate by doing something as simple as that, by just increasing how they feel about their situation, making it much more painful, allowing them to sit in that pain and giving them more confidence around your program. You'll be able to increase your results and your close rates. So I had a sales call last week, I think, and while we're going through that sales call, the client was loving the idea behind our process. She seemed really, really interested in working with us. And when we got to the part where she was actually supposed to pay for the service, she started coming up with all these excuses about how she could not afford it right now. She wants to talk to more of our clients first. She wants to do more research. She wants to think about it, and so on and so forth. And I just basically pulled up clients' dashboards inside of Go High Level. like showed her the results we were getting for clients. Played that a few testimonials. Reminded her, like earlier, she told me she was frustrated about her current situation. She told me how she had spent the last 2 years stuck in the same revenue numbers. And this client, literally all the excuses she had, just moved to one side and she moved forward with us. Because I noticed that she was coming up with an objection and I literally just increased the pain and increased the confidence. And that will allow us to hit that action threshold where she feels more comfortable moving forward. Now, somebody else might have said, oh, this client is just not ready, and blame the prospect and make the prospect a scapegoat. But you never want to do that. You want to genuinely try everything possible, raise that pain and confidence as high as possible to make sure you try and close those second and third tier leads, because you are not going to get sales calls where people just tell them your price and they say, okay, you know what, that's fine, and they give you money. That's not always going to happen. So you want to try as much as possible to raise that pain, raise that confidence, get someone to that action threshold, and work extremely hard to close those second and third tier leads, because it's extremely hard to get prospects to get on a sales call with you. So you want to treat every sales call like it is worth its weight in gold, because if you close a sale, it's literally money in your bank account. So you want to treat it like that and truly prioritize it. Now, this is not to say you will close every single lead that you speak to. There are some leads that you try your hardest and you won't still close them. That happens. But if you're able to increase your close rates by an extra 5, 10, 20%, that's a lot more money in your bank account. And just spending that extra 10 minutes on the call, that extra 15 minutes on the call to try and get them through that action threshold, increase that pain, increase that confidence, can mean the difference between making 100 grand a month and making 200 grand a month. Difference between having a 15% close rate and having a 30% close rate. So you want to truly do your best to work really hard on those second and third tier leads by increasing the pain, increasing the confidence, and getting them to that action threshold. Now, to some people, this might sound very aggressive and they might feel like, I don't want to come off as aggressive. And I totally get that. We get that a lot from clients as well. But most times when you feel this type of way, it's because you either have the fear of conflict, meaning you don't want to be confrontational or anything like that. You have the fear of losing the sale, meaning people will feel more comfortable on like, maybe this person will work with me later, than getting the no right there and then on the call. Or you have the fear of judgment, meaning you've judged people before for doing these things on calls and you don't want people to judge you for doing that. But if you truly feel like you can help a prospect, and knowing prospects, regardless of how appealing an offer is to them, when it comes to the time to make a change, people are going to come up with so many reasons why they can't make the change right now, because people will prefer to stay in their comfort zones. So you have to do something to get them out of that comfort zone and get them to change their lives. And if your product truly helps someone change their lives, there's no reason why you shouldn't do what it takes to get these people over the edge. And it's not aggression. You're not like insulting them on the call or making them feel bad about themselves. You're just basically increasing the pain and increasing the confidence, showing them more testimonials, showing them more case studies, explaining to them how you have a guarantee. They have nothing to worry about, showing them that you don't want them to remain where they're currently at, giving them that conviction, that belief that I think this can really work for you. I have so much belief that this will work for you. I see you as someone that can get results with this thing. Just giving them much more conviction, giving them much more confidence in your offer, and just reminding them over and over again how you don't want them to stay where they are at right now. And change is meant to be painful. Change is meant to be scary, and so on and so forth. They're just encouraging these prospects to do what is best for them. So if you are like a scammer and you basically take people's money and don't give them the results, then obviously don't use this kind of strategy, right? But if you truly provide value for customers, then you should do everything possible to get them to get the best results. So all right, then that's the video. If you are a coach and you would love to learn how we can help you get more predictability and consistency in how you get clients for your business, there's going to be a link in the description. You can click that link, check out the video I have there that explains how what we do works, and then let's have a sales call, right? And I'll see if I can help you. If I can't help you, I'll be honest with you and tell you I can't help you. But if we can't help you, then we can discuss how we can potentially work together. So if that sounds interesting to you, just click the link in the description and I'll speak to you real soon. But otherwise, if you found value in this video, click the like button, comment your favorite part of the video. If you have questions, ask me questions in the comment section, and subscribe so you can get more videos like this. Thank you so much. Bye.